Fight, fight, fight. It is 1:03 p.m. on the East Coast. Welcome to the Matrixxx Grooove Hour for August 8th, 2019. It's 8/8, everybody. Uh-oh. Does that mean hang Hillary? Uh-oh. we saw the news yesterday. It means Heil Hitler. I think it means hang Hillary. Obviously, through the justice and through the court system and through her treasonous acts when they're exposed, HH is hang Hillary. Hashtag it, guys. Let's give it back to them. Real quick, too, guys. I want to welcome my partner in justice, Shady Groove. Shady.
Matrixxx, it's Thursday already. We got Paul Saran in the house, and we've got deep state panic on, I would say, a world scale at this particular juncture. How are you doing this morning?
Deep state panic. We're doing good. And I want to just real quick, quickly let you guys know that Apex Health is our sponsor, and wanted to just kind of show you another product from them. We knew the Flint water crisis began in 2014. There was crap, heavy metals that leached into the water pipes, into the drinking water, exposing over 100,000 residents to elevated lead levels, right? This is something that can help you. They have a product that can help you with this. This Legionnaire's disease, there was a bacteria, THMs, lead. I mean, it was bad, and it was in the resident, from the residents of Michigan. Obviously, too, we might know that there could be some heavy metals in the air that have been sprayed on us at some point.
Yes.
And this would be a great product for you guys. It's the Chela cream. It's like chelation therapy cream. It's a 1 to 8 ounce jar. It's synthetic amino acid that has proven to be the best broad-based heavy metal chelator with very few adverse effects. The half-life of the EDTA in the body via the tropical route of administration can be up to 8 hours. So just check it out, guys, if you want to. Also, let's just check out all of their products here at Apex health.club. They've got immunity stuff. They've got the C60, as we've been talking about all week this week. They've got colloidal silver. They've got cedar pure essential oil. They've got more oil, ginger. You know what? They got wine too, guys. They got also wine.
just to say that these are some really fantastic products, some well vetted products, and really high quality. So really much congratulations to the guys for putting this together over there. This is really great. All these products are really good. Yep,
and use your code intheMatrixxx with 3 X's to get some monies off. Look at, you can get the QAnon book for $17. That's Q dollars. It's on sale, so thank you very much.
And Apex Health has already noticed you guys and us as their sponsors, or them as sponsoring our show here. So thanks for letting us be known over there.
Yes, thank you very much, and that helps us out a lot.
It
so
really
get
does.
over to apexhealth.club, get some stuff that you guys might want to look at, and use the code intheMatrixxx with 3 X's, and we thank you very much for that. Also, I wanted to just quickly let people know, I get a lot of questions. Why is your intro so long? Well, if you're watching this on a rebroadcast, we do stream this show live 1 p.m. Eastern on the East Coast every Monday through Friday, and that allows everybody to get the alert, if they get the alert, and come on in and join us to the show. So that is why, and the song is called In the Matrixx Intro, and I do have that video on my homepage, on our homepage here on intheMatrixx.com, or excuse me, YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/c/intheMatrixx with 3 X's. You can go get that song. You can download it, convert it to an MP4, and listen to it all you want. Also, I wanted to just see, let me just check something real quick before we bring our awesome guest and get into some stuff. I have got a friend out there right now that is having a birthday.
What?
Yeah. Brad.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Brad Umholtz, the president, has a message for you. I think it's the same one Paul Saran got on his birthday. Let's check it out.
This is so important to me.
Happy birthday
To you.
Happy birthday
To you.
I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Happy birthday
To you. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday at Brad Umholtz out there. You're amazing. I love you very much, brother. Thank you for all your support. Known him since high school. So
nice.
Yeah. So I got a red-pilled buddy right out there. Happy birthday, Brad. I love you so much, man. And Mama Matrixxx wanted to make sure that I wished you a happy birthday. But you know what? I'll always remember this day because of 8/8/88 is when, because I grew up in Chicago, that's when the Cubs got lights. And that was really weird. That was really weird. We went to the first 8/8. Yeah, 8/8/88. That's when Wrigley Field got the lights, and it was really weird because we've always had to skip work and go to the 1 o'clock game. You know what I mean? I also want to bring this up too. Matrixxx and Shady were on Blessed to Teach, and we thank him so much. I just want to play a quick snippet of this show real quick for you guys. Hang on.
Through vote, and so when it works, we communicate. And one of the things that's interesting is to SB2, Serial Brain 2. In this, he started to say, "Hey, before I start going on this," he said, I got something on my heart. Look, he says, Q3476 was posted in reference to the increased attacks from paid shills and or infiltrators claiming to be part of our movement when in fact they are pursuing a personal agenda with specific goals. They are easy to recognize, and I have described them in the past. They have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. They don't learn the comms, refuse their RCOMs despite Q's repeated statements. He says, learn the comms, learn the comms, learn the comms, over and over, right? Are terrified of losing their readership and only find peace by attacking our most valued Anons, who were mentioned by Q while they were, despite their great loquacity, have been royally ignored. So the other guys, these guys are being ignored, but who's not being ignored? Our most valuable Anons. So I followed up, and SP2 answered my question. There's many of them, but he named 3 specifically of our most valued Anons. Guess who they are?
Who are they, guys?
Type out if you guess who the 3 most valued Anons, according to SB2, was. At least he said there's a lot of others, but 3 he mentioned specifically. Who would they say are our 3 most valued Anons? I'll give you a hint. 2 of them are on the show right now. And they're named Shady Groove with 3 O's. And intheMatrixxx with 3 X's. And then also Praying Medic. So that is a select group of people being called out and honored by SB2.
Yep, thank you very much, Rick, at Blessed to Teach. If you're not following Blessed to, it's BLESSED2TO, Teach on YouTube here. This video has gotten 9,970 views. Thank you so much for having us. That was us Monday on his show. He's a watcher here. We love him very much and pray for him every day. But just to give you a little more, he asked who he's talking about in that post because he reads other posts from other people's that are not relevant and very loud and attacking other patients and are not relevant. So he actually called that person out by name. I don't really want to do that because I don't think it's fair, because you can follow whoever you want to. It's not up to me. But I was very, very impressed and flattered by Serial Brain 2 for calling us the most valuable Anons who are mentioned by Q. Again, Shady's been queued. I've been queued 16, give or take, times. Looking for my 17th eventually when we come back. And also we got another Q person here, Mr. Paul Saran. Paul, welcome to the show, Paul.
Hello, Matrixxx. Hello, Shady.
There he is.
Paul Saran, the infamous, the one and only Mr. Saran. How are you doing? It's another awesome Thursday. What is this, like 6 times you've been with us now, my friend?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm looking forward to my 7th time. 7 is my preferred number.
All right.
I would just like to say that I pretty much agree with what Rick said, and you guys are very valuable. Praying Medic also very valuable, and you can't go wrong with these 3 guys.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We've been attacked pretty heavily by a lot of people, but we're okay with that. That just means we're over the target, because if we weren't attacked, I guess we wouldn't be doing anything right, I guess. All right.
They would leave us alone.
They would leave us alone, and we wouldn't have any controversy, right?
Right.
Oh my gosh. So want to just quickly point out a couple things too. Pseudonym right here has a pretty good thread, a really good thread in regard to Epstein and some other like tropical shipping down here in Florida, and some really good information on that. Go ahead and check that out. Sue, if you guys please drop that thread in there. It was very, very well done. I also want to show you this, that the White House is drafting an order to tackle Silicon Valley's alleged anti-conservative bias. Let's take a look at Q972. How do social media search engine platforms weight elections? Regulation or kill stop? In my opinion, that's a Q-proof, guys.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Okay, so we got EO coming, guys. Follow the pen. Also, I want to show you about.
That's going to be real quick. Real quick. I was just going to say it's just I get excited whenever I see something like this, because I'm thinking like, wow, what would life be like to be uncensored? I mean, we've been in this for like what a year and a half, and like you really, you knew that everything was kind of at play and everything was scrubbed and pushed around, but you didn't really until we started digging deep into this and looking at what they're doing with the bowels of Google and such, how hard they try and how much they are working to prevent a what I would consider a center of the road political moderate standpoint to be espoused, heard, and amplified. It's projecting the nastiest thing you can project at the right and presenting this extreme left viewpoint, dragging us towards a system of socialism. Like, I mean, I could just see this vortex. I'm like, wow, man, would it really be nice if there was some sort of ability that they've already come up with that they can de-censor these algorithms. They can take there may be a plan for this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is. And you know what's going to happen? You guys think you guys have 1,000 followers, 500 followers, 5,000 followers. Shady, you think you have 30,000 followers? I think I have 93. It's going to, Paul, you think you have what, 30, 40,000 followers, 50,000? I can't remember what you have. 46,000 followers for Paul Strand. You're going to have 10 times that, my friend.
Oh, I hope not too fast. I may not survive.
I think it will happen fast, man, because if they do, because people, are you noticing this? I don't know. You're in Brazil, right? So you have a different perspective. But where I go, every time I go out, people are hungry for information. And, I talk to people. First, I find out if they're a Trump supporter, right? And if not, I just try to ask them questions, and just try to find something that we can all identify on. But people are really hungry for information, man. I mean, they're getting kind of sick of the mainstream Mockingbird media.
Yeah, I get that vibe too from far away, but it's noticeable.
So Regal Pinguino has 34 followers. So that you probably have 3,400 and you don't even know it. I'm just kidding. So we got this movie too, guys. And I suppose this is, acceptable. If anything happens to anyone, we will know who to blame. The weaponized media, right? This is absolutely weaponized. And I actually have the video up here, guys. And the video, Carly, thank you to Carly Bonet. It was this video, the trailer was during the Democratic presidential debates. Now, it's a good thing nobody watches this crap, but this was aired during the debates, this commercial. And let's go ahead and check it out. It's right. Oh my gosh. Boy, I got all that stuff going. Here we go.
Hey there. Help you?
What state is this?
Sorry.
You don't understand the question?
Oh, no, I do. Most people know where they are.
Why ain't most people?
You're in the glorious state of Arkansas, sweetheart.
How'd you know they was lying?
Well, this ain't Arkansas, so everyone is lying.
Your idea is incredible.
I can't argue with that. We pay for everything, so this country belongs to us.
It's just business. Hunting human beings for sport.
They're not human beings.
Every year, a bunch of elites kidnap normal folk like us. Where'd they get you from? Wyoming?
Mississippi?
Orlando. And hunt us for sport. Hurry, hurry, hurry up!
So it's true.
We're being hunted.
Hey, what am I gonna wait?
What is happening?
Put him in the back with the rest.
Gonna take the freight train down at the station. I don't care where it goes.
Now they can't see us.
You just told them we're here.
What was that?
I think that was a rifle.
Come on, everybody get out of here! Jesus, come on!
Who are these people?
How are they getting away with this?
You have no idea what you're up against.
They're playing you.
They'll tear you to pieces.
We'll see. Of all the people you kidnapped, of all the people you killed, you picked the wrong game.
Lady, you're crazy.
The hunters become the hunted, guys. These people are sick, huh? I mean, at least the hunt's coming up. Nothing better than going out to the manor and slaughtering a dozen deplorables, right? Gives witch hunt a whole new meaning because they are witches and warlocks and wizards over there on Hollywood. But I just think this is absolutely disgusting. And it's also quite interesting that we had shootings after all of this. Shady, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, a few things. Number one, they did not. They're trying to now say that this was satire. They're trying to say that this was a not a realist or something, you know, because now the shootings have happened. They have to spin this to say it's something else. But what they're depicting here is something that goes on behind the scenes, guys. And this is not for the faint of heart. And this is a message to us. Period.
Yeah,
This is them sending us a message telling us to stop it.
Yeah, and we're not going to stop it. Paul.
Matrixx. I was just thinking here. I guess they committed a terrible mistake because while it's horrible that they are doing that, this is also informing people a bit too much for their own good, I think. And once people see this movie and they find out what happened on the Black Forest, for example,
right? They do this, right?
Exactly.
They actually do that, so it sort of prepares people for horrible things we're about to disclose. Not we, but that are about to be disclosed. And so I think they committed a terrible mistake is the Streisand effect.
Yeah.
Yes. I agree. I agree with that, Paul. And what he's alluding to there is absolutely correct. If anyone out there is interested in reading some completely in-depth analysis and firsthand experience with some of this stuff, check out Kathy O'Brien's book Transformation of America, where she catalogs her experience with the MK Ultra program and her child being taken away from her and them being put in the middle of the woods and hunted and all of the different really disturbing things that are done. Yes. I mean, this is really stuff that they do. This is not movie things.
Right. And so in certain ways, it's kind of normalization of this, right?
It's a desensitization to some degree.
What I also want to point out is this movie was shown during the Democrat presidential debates and
Democrat debate.
The Democrat debate. And then all of the shooters are Democrat affiliated, okay? The parents. So we've got the kid down in El Paso who has all those ties 3 degrees away from the MK Ultra, father of MK Ultra. The father trained under Ross, who trained under I believe it was Gottlieb.
Gottlieb.
Yep.
Yes.
Who's the father of MK Ultra, basically, with the acid part of it, right? Then you've got Betts, who worked at some clown op factory and watch iPod. If you guys iPod this morning had it, I will defer to iPod to show, because we're all united, guys. We're all here and we all have our own angles. But he actually came up with a good fit with the Betts. Betts was basically. Worked at this factory. I can't remember the name of it, but go to iPop. But in Virginia, McLean, Virginia, right? So Clown Town. Then she's also assistant manager for Bath and Body Works. Who owns that, Shady?
Clouds.
Les.
Or Wexner.
Wexner.
Yeah. Right.
So they all have all these ties to all these other people. Possibly, right? But just very interesting, creepy connections, guys.
Wexner says that Jeffrey Epstein was misappropriating his funds.
Yes, they turn on each other now, right?
Yes, sir.
So somebody should ask him, why did he give Epstein power of attorney over every...
All right, that's a very good question.
Here he is.
Of course he's going to steal.
So they turn on their own. Remember, we heard that Q. This is a Q proof, guys. They turn on their own.
A relationship that was banded together, what, 40 years ago or something is now, or no, 10, 20, 40 years ago is all of a sudden he was misappropriating funds since he was arrested for child sex trafficking.
Problems. Hey, he misappropriated funds in 2008.
Hey, can I get my publicist on the phone?
Right. Oh my gosh. So look, I mean, there's the article right there, guys. If you want to check it out, it is a shady tweet. So go check that out. He's going into comedy now because we don't buy it. I don't buy it.
I'm not buying it.
I don't buy it. And Steve Scalise wants to say this. Do you remember Steve Scalise?
Yes.
He was shot by a Bernie supporter.
Yep.
Okay.
He didn't even blame Bernie Sanders.
No. We didn't even go out and say hang
Nope.
Bernie. We didn't say hang Bernie or make a movie about killing him.
No, because it has nothing to do with Bernie. It has to do with unstable people.
A giant.
Exactly, Paul. So people should not be personally targeted for their political views, period. This isn't a game. It's dangerous and lives are at stake. I know this firsthand, says Steve Scalise. This is not a game. These people are sick.
Yeah, and this is a gentleman who took a bullet, recovered, and came back to continue to represent his constituency. It's just like, wow.
Right. And again, I want to remind you that this happened. This came out on Friday, and the next day we had shootings.
This was bad news.
And then the next day we had shootings, guys.
Yeah.
The FBI agreed to immunity contracts to not do a full investigation on the Clinton emails. The FBI agreed to destroy the computers and the backup emails. Quick, change narrative.
The FBI agreed to destroy the computers that had the backup emails. So all the people that have been telling you now, say what you will, but all the people that have been telling you that Hillary and she was the one bleach spitting. Well, what if it was the FBI destroying the evidence and then attempting to charge a duly elected person, the president of the United States, with obstruction of justice?
Absolutely.
You could not be more ironic than that.
That's right. And we want to make sure that you guys understand that and keep pressing that. And let me go ahead and
retweet.
Yeah, let me go ahead and keep that at the top.
Please retweet.
This is why we had the narrative change, guys. Okay. So let's go down to this. I want to show you guys one more thing here. And then we're going to do an 8chan update. Okay. Let's go down here a little bit further. Oh, by the way, KLC at KLCJR77 tweeted this out, which is amazing. 680 illegal jobs now for people. There's now 680 new jobs for United States citizens, guys.
Yeah, and this is the thing that happened in Mississippi. They actually, with this, they are the owners of this facility are also under criminal indictment, from what I understand. they were and the news media is going crazy on this, talking about, they were interviewing one of the parent, or one of the children of the parents who were arrested in this. ICE has announced that anyone who was picked up who was a single parent who had a child at home were going to be released to go back to their family, and that they're not separating people. But this is the result of a 1.5 year long investigation, from what I understand. So this is not like run and rum shot right in there. This is, remember the president. Yeah, remember the president tweeted, "Don't get comfortable."
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Justice, the wheels of justice move slowly, but they move and they grind.
Oh yeah. All right. So, and let's check this out too. This is our 8chan update. Ready?
Joins
me now. Is funny.
Joins me now from Las Vegas. So Dan, what's the current status of 8chan, and is it still experiencing outages?
Yeah, Rena, for the last 36 hours, 8chan has been in flux. It has gone from the ClearNet, that's the regular website that you and I use every day, to the dark web. This is the encrypted internet that requires special software to access. But I checked it again late last night and it was back on the ClearNet. So right now they are in flux, but we can expect that dark web 8chan will be alive and well sooner than later.
And Congress has summoned 8chan's owner, Jim Watkins, to come and testify. What do they want to know from him?
Well, Congress has asked Jim Watkins to speak about the site's propensity to harbor white supremacists and how the site has aided and abetted white supremacists.
By the way, the white supremacist drops on the 8chan are from the C_A, by the way, just so you know.
So it's really unlikely, however, that Mr. Watkins
yeah, they're the same ones every day. Here we go.
will testify. He is an American military veteran. He's in his mid-50s, but he also lives in the Philippines. So asking him or getting him to return to the United States might be a big ask.
And 8chan's owner defended his platform in a video. What did he have to say, Dan?
Yeah, this was a fascinating video, Rena. Jim Watkins posted content.
Fascinating. Why don't you
believe this? It's so fascinating.
Company that helped
great.
protect
And you should have seen it.
DDoS. That's a distributed denial of service designed to take a website out. Cloudflare protects thousands of sites all over the world, and they're a very legitimate service. But Watkins said that this was politically motivated. Now, Cloudflare has posted their own blog and said that, hey, look, we had a hard time making this decision because law enforcement requires us or asks us to keep the site up so they can continue investigations. But they said at a certain point, using these arguments of free speech don't really...
Because Nike's on our board, and the Obama administration gave us $150 million. Here you go.
Hold water, because we just don't want to be the platform that helps hate speech spread.
And so...
All right, now watch this. It's not... You got to see this part. This guy, craps his pants. Watch this.
Years ago, you talked about it going to the dark side. What is the dark side, and what would that look like?
Well, this is the dark web. So the dark web is just like the regular internet we use every day. These are websites with domains. However, instead of ending in .com or .net or .org, a regular top-level domain that you and I are
We're not
accustomed
on
to,
the dark web, by the way.
dark websites use the .onion URL. Now, they also have hidden URLs, meaning you can't just type, say, cbsnews.com and go to a regular website. You have to use a kind of scrambled URL, which makes it hidden, makes it very hard to find, and you need to use encrypted tools that hide your IP address so that you become anonymous. However, this is really challenging. Most users of the internet would have a hard time doing this. So this means that...
Shady, who set up the .onion and all that stuff?
The what?
The onion, the Tor. Who set up the dark web?
Freaking
government.
Navy? The government, the CIA.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Who set up Bitcoin?
Right. Derp.
So they can exchange and trade and pay each other for trafficking and slavery.
Derp, derp, derp. All right, now here, listen to the rest of this.
But put your money in Bitcoin.
We are the news now, guys. Here we go. Look at the picture of this guy. Doop, 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 doop. Somebody screenshot that and meme it. Here we go.
8chan's audience will, by default, become very limited.
All right, Dan, and what are experts saying is the best way to eliminate these types of hate-fueled websites online? Can you even contain them?
Well, containing hate speech has been the conversation here at Black Hat and with law enforcement experts all over the world. And there are a spectrum of different answers. On the one hand, we have been combating hate speech for hundreds
You've been pushing
of
hate
years.
speech.
On the other hand, experts say that, look,
all right, watch what happens
you can
here. This is going to be
take
great.
down a site like 8chan. You're not going to get rid of the behavior or the users, but what you will do is something very important, and that is increase the friction and the challenge of accessing sites like this, which helps prevent new users from being recruited into systems that are more extreme or radical.
Dan, as we're doing this segment, we just got a live update from Jim Watkins, the 8chan owner, who said that he's on his way back to the U.S. and he's happy to talk to Congress. So that has just come down as you and I were discussing this. I want to thank you so much, Dan Patterson, for joining us. Go ahead, Dan.
Thank you, Rena. Well, this is a fascinating development, and it will be very interesting to see what he has to say.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people want to hear.
So hate speech equals free speech, and Patriot Act equals not Patriot Act. So we're starting to learn the comms, right?
Yes, we are. We're very, very clear.
And if you're not following The Dirty Truth, get over there and follow The Dirty Truth. He's pretty good. He puts a lot of great videos up, along with Carly Bonet and many others. But just wanted to let you know that guy is pretty awesome. And I also want to show you this. Hang on one second. This is the 8chan taken down kind of thread that I kind of started today. This is Ron, Code Monkey, says, we are using the downtime now to scale 8chan servers, networking, and software to be stronger for when we come back online. You got it, guys? Not if.
When. Not if. When.
Right. 8chan is still down. Our machines were DDoSed one by one. We are now working on building strong defense and migrations, and then 8chan is the first platform to be deplatformed. We are working hard to make sure that doesn't happen again after we come back online. What? When? After. Again. We're coming back online. 5-5?
Yes.
5-5. Right. So then I wanted to show you this. Bit Mitigate said, but 8chan is still down, right? Bo Luz says. You're not hosting, but you will. Our understanding is that 8chan is planning to stay down until at least after the congressional testimony and is completed. We have no further information on their plans. Epic.com is continuing as domain registrar and DNS provider. But this is very interesting, guys. Check this out. Ron comes back. Code Monkey says, actually, it's not an attack. It seems Bit Mitigate might have just been deplatformed for hosting 8chan. And Bit Mitigate came back and said this. Bit Mitigate was all systems go within 8 hours of losing not one but two primary upstream providers. We have been running normally since Tuesday morning and are adding more POPs, point of presence. We'll announce a global tier 1 network provider soon and will name/shame those who failed humanity. What happened on Monday was not a technical failure. It was a breach of contract by trusted suppliers who played fast and loose with their contractual relationships because of political expediency. We will not let that happen again. Hashtag
clowns.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing everything they can. Like, you know, look at the guy's reaction on there. They're trying to get him to come and testify. Oh, my goodness. We have so much fervor out there for a LARP, Matrixxx. All for a LARP?
Yeah, they're not saying QAnon, but this is all about QAnon, guys.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, what else are you going to talk about?
Right.
That guy on his mom's basement is pretty brilliant.
He really is pretty brilliant.
Man, you know, I tell you, I'm 51 years old, got dual major degrees, bunch of minors, think I'm pretty smart, you know, did pretty well in business, you know. I couldn't do what he's doing, dude. This guy's crazy. This guy's amazing. whoever the Q team is, right? When we don't dox Q. 10 people, 3 non-military. Those are the only ones that know the plan, the entire plan. So Q post 332, risk of another shutdown. Be prepared to lose access. Q. And that was 12/11/17. 12/6/17 says, I have a question. 10 days of darkness. When? Shutdown. Q. Now, this could have been the government shutdown. This could have been, Q has been gone for, 10 days here and there, right?
Yep.
20 days, 30 days. But, just stay tuned, folks. Also, I want to show you another great thread here. This is regarding the 8chan takedown. This is at 8 Notables. They have a really good thread here. And this is a write-up with the relevant Q posts and various tweets based on Anon's theory of what you're witnessing happen as 8chan is down. Do you think, 8chan, 8 boomerang, kind of looks like a boomerang, doesn't it? Interesting. All right, so what you're witnessing unfold. Trust the plan. Q. The 24-hour warning was for them, stated by an Anon on QRV. Q team was letting them know you have 24 hours to reconsider what you're about to do. If you decide to go ahead with it after 24 hours, you are cucked. C-U-C-K-E-D. I'm not going to swear. 24 hours later, Ray dropped the QAnon followers are domestic terrorist doc. How do you inject NSA evidence into a court case? You make the target of your enemy a terrorist group. NSA evidence can only be used in a court of law if it's a terrorist attack. The baddies realized that they couldn't blame the El Paso attack on Q now because the NSA would get involved. But they still thought Ray was on their side. So they blamed the attack on Trump and Bernie and white nationalism, thinking they'd be safe. But no, FBI yesterday still labeled it a domestic terrorist attack. They thought they still had the FBI. Now the NSA is involved and evidence can be injected. Then, yesterday, Trump said AG Barr was going to assemble a red flag bill that would include, quote, the death penalty for perpetrators of these crimes, end quote. The baddies now, I like that, the baddies now know that the NSA is involved and they are cucked. They can't pass the bill that will get several of their players the death penalty, and they are sure can't sit on their hands right now. This is going to unravel fast, and they will have no idea how to get ahead of it. Ray messed with them bad. He messed with them bad. This is how the awakening starts. You're killing us? You're messing with us? Are you kidding me? Wait a minute. What about our kids? The school shootings? No way. No way. They can smash their phones. They can drop their PCs out of a 10-story window. It doesn't matter this time. It was all a terrorist attack. You lose. Very, very good. And there's more to this thread too, guys. This is Q Ask Why We're Here providing crumbs, right? 563. Why are we here? Why are we providing crumbs? Think memo. Building the army. Not convinced this is spreading? You, the people, have the power. You, the people, just forgot how to play. Together you are strong. Apart you are weak. They want you divided. They want race wars. They want class wars. They want religious wars. They want political wars. They want you divided. Learn for God and country. Learn. Stay strong. Stay together. Fight. 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 This is more important than you can imagine. Q. Now, people that don't understand the comms that are attacking other patriots, how do you decode this? Stay together. What does that mean?
Don't fight with each other or yell at or blame each other or attack each other.
They want you divided. So who are you dividing on behalf of?
The cabal.
Right.
Any division is on behalf of the ones we work against.
All right. So these are repeated statements by Q. Stay strong. Stay together. United, not divided. Remember that, guys. Okay. Here's another one right here. This is interesting. This is the how do you introduce the evidence into an investigation legally? Who has everything? We know the NSA has it, right? Wow. And then this is a life lesson AS. Next time you leak classified information, you don't have your phone or allow phones of the unknown go between students. Present FISA works both ways. Pamela, thank you.
FISA goes both ways.
FISA goes both ways, yo. Suspected of, so you get FISA, the way you get it is if you're suspected of espionage or terrorism. Okay.
Yep.
That's what
we're working with foreign governments to subvert your country.
So at 8 Notables goes on and says, trust Ray. Declaring QAnon movement allows them to introduce all evidence they gather via 8chan. Think about that for a moment. Over 9,000 breads of Anon research on everything.
Yep.
Remember, Q said, trust Ray. Q said he's a sleeper. Fake news equals enemy of the people. If all directions of the echo chamber, MSM, state the same thing, even if it's fiction or false, do most people consider it true, factual? Direct communication is critical. Who controls fake news? We know those same companies, right? They do. Why is Antifa allowed to incite violence, wear masks, make threats, carry weapons, and physically harm others who oppose their ideology? Why does Antifa attempt to justify such violence by labeling the challenger as alt-right or Nazi or white supremacist or ism, whatever it might be, racism, whatever ism you want to put in there? And then also, this is the, he's just bringing up the insurance file. I mean, they are scared. What you are witnessing, they're very careless. They thought she would never lose. Careless. Look at that. They are being very, very careless, guys.
Very careless, man. Very careless. This is extremely sloppy.
Well, I've got an error occurred on my broadcast here, so I'm going to have to refresh that. That is interesting, guys. Sorry about that.
Looks like we're still rolling.
Yeah, we're still rolling. I just had an error occurred, so I couldn't watch it anymore because they think I'm a regular user, not watching the actual stream.
Error.
All right, so that's kind of what I got here for that. That was Rick Blessed to Teach. I want to go over to this right here. Let me just
let
me fix something real quick. Hang on one second, guys.
Paul Saran in the house.
Yeah, we got to give Paul, you know what, before we get Paul Saran, I want to really just take 1 second and just really let you know how appreciative I am to have Mr. Paul Saran on this show. He is from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He gives us a different aspect. He gives us a different view than our regular people here. You know, I have traveled many countries, and it's always amazing to hear what they think about the U.S., to hear what they think about what's going on, to hear what what they're being told in their countries about us as well. So, and Paul has been doing some amazing work on the Epstein pedophile tale, basically. This one is called The Bounty Hunters. That he's done, but this is the Frank Report who basically published him, which is amazing. And Paul, you get the golden shovel today, and I want to give you this. This is my honor to you. You get the golden shovel. Here it is. Look at you. Look at that's for you, Paul. Your digging is bar none, friend. So, look at Paul. Look at
this is awesome.
Don't play it all in one place, Paul.
So everybody, give a 17 for Mr. Paul Saran and his digging, and we're gonna go through his bounty hunter thread in 2 seconds. I just want to listen to some of this golden shovel for Mr. Paul Saran. And by the way, the Matrixxx Grooove Hour did buy Paul Saran dinner. I hope you use that for a nice dinner, a meal. You deserve it, my friend. How awesome is this music, guys? Listen to that. All right, Paul, that's for you, my brother. The golden shovel, and that is Justin Johnson. You can actually buy a golden shovel. I did reach out to them. They did come back and say hello and thank you for our interest in their shovel. They were glad that we dig it. And you know what Shady and I always say.
Yeah, what are shovels used for? Digging.
But Mr.
in this case, he was digging sonically. Yeah.
That's right. Look at that, man. So let's go to you. Where do you want to start? You want me to give you the screen?
Yeah, please. I think I have everything I need here.
All right, give me 2 seconds and I will get you over there, my friend. And please go through the thread, okay? Because people really love what you do, okay? Let me stop Windows Capture. Let me open Zoom. Let me make sure everybody can see that. I believe they can. Yep.
I think we're good.
I think you're good, my brother.
All right.
So actually, I would like to just have a quick word here about the Frank report. Sorry. When I was trying to get informed about the Nexium trial, I found the work of Frank Parlato. He used to be a guy in finance, and he was probably the first guy who wrote about Nexium and was one of the main people who just brought the cult down. I was following the trial pretty closely, and I think he was mentioned both by the defense and the prosecution like 30 times. It was awesome, the impact that one blogger can have such a huge impact in the life of so many people that now are freed from the bondage of Nexium. So the Frank report was always a big influence in my work in the next months, in the last few months. So the fact that he would publish my first Epstein thread, né? The fact that he would post my first Epstein thread for me is like I'm in the cover of the Rolling Stone magazine, so to speak. I'm very, very honored. He picked up the thread and he's posting it in 3 installments. 2 of them have already gone. He's labeling the work as excellent. And you don't see this guy using this kind of language too often. So I'm really, really proud that my work is sort of branching out. And the funny thing is, when I sent him my material about Epstein case, which they are writing a lot about the Epstein case on his blog, when I sent him, I said, "Oh, I know you don't dig QAnon, but I have a lot of open sources corroboration." And he said, no, I like QAnon, I like you. And I was very surprised by that. And he said, "I'm not an expert, but I know the fact that there is a deep state." So he came to read my work with an open heart, and he liked it very much. So I'm just like on cloud 9, and I would like to invite people to know the Frank Report, because it's a kick-ass blog, man. I read the Frank Report more than I read Fox News, for example. That I do just to have an idea what the media is talking, right? So I would like to jump back to the new thread. It was a very good one in terms of visibility. I got like 2.5 million views, and I got a day of 1,700,000 views, which is a very big deal for me. A lot of people were watching. I got like 20,000 retweets, 60,000 likes. For me, it's like winning the lottery kind of visibility. And this is my 4th thread on the Epstein case. It's crazy because when I was about to write my first story about him, I was afraid to do it. It took me like 3 months to work up the courage to write, because let's remember, he was not arrested when I first started writing about him. He was the guy who got away. So I was like, oh, am I really gonna write about this guy who's a billionaire, pretty wicked, and got away with all those crimes? Eventually, I did work up the courage. So, and this is my 4th story. And it was supposed to be more of a update kind of thread, but it does have an overarching theme, because in the 80s, he was telling everyone he met that he was a global bounty hunter for companies and for unspecified governments. So what I have learned through this research, that he was telling people all the time what he did. He wasn't like, he was just disguising it very thinly, what kind of bounty we were talking about, right?
Exactly.
So, in a safe inside his 77 million New York townhouse, police found a long expired Austrian passport from the 1980s. It had Epstein's photo, but a different name, and stated his country of residence to be Saudi Arabia. So now when I heard that, my mind exploded. I was like, it can't flipping be, you know? So the bounty hunter, he has an Austrian passport. So you think Black Forest. And it states a Saudi residence. You think Bloody Wonderland. So I was starting, man, this guy is at the very vortex of it all.
Right.
So what was supposed to be just a simple update was becoming exciting for me. So we are in the vortex of the cabal global web, spider webs of child trafficking. But before we talk about the Saudis and the Austrians, we have to talk about the Clinton Foundation. Because the first thing that happened was, we all know that Bill Clinton stated, and he downplayed his relationship with Epstein, saying he only flew a limited number of times on the Lolita Express, always with Secret Service, and never in the presence of minors. Well, none of that appears to be true with the evidence that we got. Of course, we are on the QAnon scene. We have this. And this photo is enough to ruin his day. I mean, his whole plot. But let's go try to find what the mainstream media is talking about. If you see, the Daily Beast is owned by IAC, which has Chelsea Clinton in the board of directors. But that did not keep it from sending reporters to the Clinton Library and demolishing Bill's alibi. In what way? First of all, existing records indicate that Jeffrey Epstein and his longtime associate Ghislaine Maxwell were present at the September 1993 fundraiser in the Clinton White House. So we're not talking 2003, 2007, when he was arrested. We're talking 1993. That's how far back they go. We have two documents here. One is a list. We can see Jeffrey Epstein and Mrs. Ghislaine Maxwell from New York attended. This is a Clinton Presidential Library photocopy that the reporters from the Daily Beast got. And this is a letter from the White House Historical Association, and they are thanking dear Mr. Epstein for $10,000 donation to the White House Historical Association. So we know the money was changing hands that far back. And although it may be a simple, ordinary, normal donation, at this point in time, we are inclined to be suspicious. Also featured in this Daily Beast piece, we are talking about in the Forrester Filter Rochefield, I can never say this name, and she's talking about having discussed Jeffrey Epstein with the president. We have this document here that I did put my effects on, but she misspells his name somehow. It has a T here. But it says, it was a pleasure to see you recently at Senator Kennedy's house. There was too much to discuss and too little time. Using my 15 seconds of access to discuss Jeffrey Epstein and currency stabilization, I neglected to talk with you about a topic near and dear to my heart, namely affirmative action, blah, blah, blah. And she will write a memo with George Stephanopoulos. So we go ahead and we will return to Lynn later, but let's just say that she helps establish a Clinton-Epstein early link, earlier than we knew. And also, Lynn was supposedly turning a lot of people on to Epstein, as we learned from Alan Dershowitz. He said he'd been friends with Epstein since 1996, when they were introduced at a party by Lynn Forrester de Rothschild. At where were they? at Les Wexner's mansion. So you can see that the web's spinning and the characters are there from the very beginning.
Yes, they are.
So this is. I wonder if I play this video, if the sound will go. Let's try. Okay, it seems to be going. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just play. This is Conchita. I forgot her. Conchita Sarnoff, and she knows everything about the flight logs. Look what she has to say.
I have read too much information, and I have spoken to too many people on the inside. I actually attempted to interview Clinton, but he did not agree to do so. And I know from the pilot logs, and these are pilot logs that, you know, were written by different pilots and at different times, that Clinton went, he was a guest of Epstein's 27 times. Now you tell me, Doug Bands was also on the plane many times. Many of those times, Clinton had his Secret Service with him, and many times he did not. Almost every time that Clinton's name is on the pilot logs, there are underage girls. There are initials, and there are names of many, many girls on that private plane. I have read too much.
I'm sorry. It was starting again. So what we know is he has been 27 times flying on the plane, and every single time, almost every single time, there was minors on the plane. There were minors on the plane. Also, we have this photo from Chelsea's wedding, and you can see Ghislaine Maxwell here. And of course, there's this very blurry photo of Bill and Ghislaine Maxwell boarding a plane. So it's burn, baby, burn for Bill, as long as his connections with the
guy. Paul, that kind of hurt a little bit. Ow, stings.
Yeah. You know what? This is a live program. So my phone is exploding here, and I do have to run to the door for 1 minute. Can you guys allow me to do that? It's very unprofessional.
Go for it, Paul. We're going to take a break. Paul's going to go ahead and check that out. We got you covered, my brother. We're going to play a song because there's two ways to control people, fear and love. This is Paul Ceran and D-Trax. All you need is love. Let's check it out.
There's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say that you don't learn how to play the game. It's easy. There's nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need. There's nothing you can know that isn't known. Nothing you can sing that isn't shown. No way you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need.
That is the great Paul Ceran and D-Trax with the All You Need Is Love cover. Wow, Paul, you're amazing, my brother. Our mods found that song, and I love it, dude.
So great, man. And like the creativity of these people that bring all this information is just remarkable.
That's right. Also, real quick, while we're waiting for Paul, he'll give us the 5-5 when he's back. But look what was spotted at the pool. These are intheMatrixxx beach towels, guys. Look at those things. Look at my Punisher cup and my Make America Great Again hat and my Q. We had some fun at the pool. So guys, if you guys want those, go to the Teespring store. Check them out. The towels turned out really, really good.
That's a nice day at the pool there, my friend.
Isn't that cool, dude? Look at my Punisher cup.
I see it.
I love it. I love it. So guys, get over to Teespring.
I'm back. I'm so
there
sorry.
he is.
Nope, you're good.
No, not a problem.
We played All You Need Is Love by your band and you.
Yeah, man. That was I was invited to be a part of this Beatles cover album, and the guy gave me this song, and I was like, man, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna do the orchestra.
Right, you did great, man. I loved it, and all the people loved it too, because all we need is love. We know that we have the power. We can reject all the crap that the Beatles might have represented, right? Because, you know, look, all we know is love, and that was from Mr. T. Mr. T out there, way to go. So check out the Teespring store. Look at these beach towels, Paul.
Yeah.
Look at those. Can you see them? Oh no, I'm not sharing my screen. Let me get back over to you. We had a little bit of a Paul Ceran music time out. Here we go. We're back at Paul Ceran's thread. Mr. Ceran, take it away.
Thank you so much for waiting for me. You are so nice, and you played my song. I can't thank you enough. But what I wanted to say is, look at this photo. You know what this is? This is when Lynn, she married Sir Evelyn de Rothschild. They spent their honeymoon on the White House on Lincoln's bedroom. No, I'm not kidding. This is how.
No, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, this is how inside they were to the system. So, to talk about the Q drops that reference Lynn de Rothschild, we have to talk about November 2017 when Saudi King Salman unleashed his anti-corruption purges, arrested hundreds of billionaire royals, princes, ministers, and basically he broke one side of the cabal's pyramid and shut the Saudi sex slave safe haven and freed 3,000 children at once. This was perhaps the moment that the first onslaught of the storm. And incredibly enough, it didn't happen in the U.S. So this is what we are talking about. The good King Salman of Saudi Arabia, the guy who is fighting to end this child trafficking. Under the former rulers of the House of Saud, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia turned into one of the biggest donors for the Clinton Foundation. You can see here that they gave between $10 million and $25 million. That's not small potatoes, right? Saudi Arabia was the bloody wonderland, the safe haven for the child sex trafficking. And some of the most disturbing allegations are made in the Q drops against Hillary Clinton, but so far they have not been substantiated in public. You see here, I'm trying to, toe the line and not be openly accusing people of something that is not proved in court. I'm trying to be careful here. One of the most powerful men in the Saudi kingdom was arrested too. And Prince Alawid bin Talal is one of the richest men on earth and was said in the Q drops to be one of the puppet masters of American politics. It was actually said that if the election turned out to be between Hillary and Jeb Bush, he would have won already because he controlled both of them. So this guy was a pretty important player, and he was arrested. His Alawid's philanthropic foundation has given $1 million or more to the Carter Center, and between 100 and 250,000 to the Clinton Foundation. But he was also a guy who had stakes in many, many companies. And a simple cursory search showed multiple millionaire donations from companies that Alawid had meaningful stakes at one point or another. And I'm sure that a thorough search will find many, many more. Back in the US, 1 week after the Saudi purges, we saw one of the most painful personal attacks on the posts regarding Linda Rothschild, or LDR. She's also often referred in this fashion. And perhaps that's when I would like to have your voice now. Distress call to others will do you, your family, no good at this stage. We know where you and the family are at all times and can hear you breathing.
Wow.
And then there's this, yeah, man.
Remember that post too. Wow.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's one thing I don't want to hear. We can hear you breathing. So that's why I said, we can hear you breathing. I did one of my
fire.
Fire, burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. And somehow the events in the bloody wonderland and the intelligence that was generated in the corruption purges deeply involved her family, according to the Q drops. And she had been lurking in HN, so she was called very directly. We learned that she can't sleep. Can you find a pic of Alawid and Hussein or Clinton or other US politicians? L, I think that's her, Lynn. Heard you can't sleep anymore. Don't come here again. You know, we have seen Q, with this probable exception of Adam Schiff and a few other people, I have never seen people being this aggressive with anyone. It's kind of scary, actually.
Yes.
I hope to God they never talk to me like that. So meanwhile, in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh, the people arrested in the Saudi purge are kept in the most gilded cage of the planet, the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. I wouldn't mind being arrested there, you know? Look at that. But don't be too fooled by the sumptuous surroundings, because the Saudi law enforcement and investigative methods could very well have involved torture.
You notice the colors too of the Epstein domes are in there too, that blue color, right? The blue.
Yeah.
I hadn't noticed that, but you're absolutely right.
The blue and white.
Yeah.
Blue, white, and gold. Yep.
83 days after he was arrested and over 6 billion financial settlement, Prince Alawid bin Talal was released. I mean, that's why he doesn't get a burn baby burn, because, you know, he was released. He has settled with his kingdom, so I'm trying to be extra careful. Here, you know? We need.
I like your precision, Paul.
Yeah, man. Let's. You know what?
Of course, I wouldn't mind giving him a.
Maybe a little matchstick.
Anyway,
burn, baby, burn.
Let's go with burn.
I mean,
so you guys can't hear it, but I was playing "Burn, Baby, Burn" just so you guys know, because I'm not sure my sound.
So let's just go ahead. Just how loyal he will show himself to his cousin, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, remains to be seen. But so far, from what I gathered, he has now stakes on. He sold much of his stakes on Western companies. So he's not the guy who owns Twitter, Citibank, and Four Seasons anymore. He's like a lot of things in Lebanon, you know? still a very rich man. This is one of the guys who can pay 6 billion retribution and still be wealthy for 5 generations. So Q, he taunts Bin Talal upon his release. And the playing involves the Black Forest, because that's where we want to get, to the Austria, okay? And incredibly enough, it all comes back together. He said, time to play, Dopey, Black Forest. Now, who's Dopey? Q was addressing the princess Dopey following this tweet by POTUS. POTUS has branded many people with this term that he used it no less than 71 times in his tweets. Dopey Prince Alawid Talal wants to control our US politicians with daddy's money. This is the worst thing you can say to Talal, because he likes to think of himself as a self-made man. So to tell him that he's using daddy's money is like, you know, offending his mother almost. So he can do it when I get elected. And then he was not elected yet, and he was bracing the most powerful people in the world, that this guy has cojones. So let's go ahead. Okay, so the forest that Q was making reference in this latest drop is this Rothschild state. It's called Langau. It's a hunting state that it's the size of the Isle of Manhattan, and it was just sold a few days after it was mentioned on the Q drops. After 200 years in the possession of the Rothschilds, they sold it, and Q says that it was a fire sale, and of course a fire sale implies that it was sold very quickly and sold very
cheaply.
Yeah, so it may have some, this fire may have some supplemental meanings, but the basic first implication is that they sort of got rid of it. Because of what? Because of what went on there, man. I tremble. What went on there? We were seeing the movie before, so I was like trembling, because what went on there that they had to get away with it, so they do away with it so fast. You have more than you know. We always do. So a few days later, we had the stock market dived 666 points, and it was a message that the cabal was sending everyone. And this is funny, because I wanted to see some news piece about it, and we have CNN Business rooting for a bear market. They're please, God, send us a bear market, and it didn't come. It's so beautiful to see that. They were like thrilled of any economic problems. So what went on there? That's the disturbing question. And the fact is, we know, I'm not gonna write it, but we know. And now the game has flipped. Hunters become the hunted. And that's the game now. And I feel such a thrill to say that, because we are really part of this, not the real war, but we are part of the information war that allows the real war to exist. If it were not for Q's work and our work, combined work, perhaps this would not take place, you know? So with all that in mind, it's very easy to understand why the bounty hunter is such a big liability for them, and why they would want him out of the picture. So of course we know that there was an attempt on Jeffrey Epstein's life on jail, and then what we have here is the Frank report, because I link the Frank report a lot. So you'll see that I'm not, just saying. I really love the blog. So that was my idea. So I rubbed it for them. There are several theories. He was unattacked. Somebody hired to kill him, to kill the leverage he has. He made a genuine attempt at suicide, or he staged a suicide. And we go along and we come to the conclusion that it was most probably, everyone agrees that it was most probably an attack on his life. And not only that, but the cabal, they put out the light in a big chunk of New York to be able to get to him. That's pretty scary. You know, you're in the jail. The jail that he is a very tough jail. It's the jail where El Chapo was. It's called the Terror Ring. This is it. This is the Frank report. They have a lot of sources into the correctional facilities. It's crazy. People talk to them. So back to the Frank report, the MCC 10 South unit, known as the Terror Ring, access to Epstein was difficult. It is mentioned that he may be involved with some intelligence agency. So this is really a thing. We have a Q post here in which he always trying to make us think logically. Why would a person that is fighting hard for bail, that is appealing the decision, why would this person attempt suicide prior to the ruling of this appeal? Makes no real sense to any explanation that is not that he was attacked.
Absolutely. I mean, he was willing to give up everything, you know, and for bail, and
yeah, just to get out of those four walls.
Yeah, I think he would have been far worse. The best thing for him is to be where he is, because I want him to be alive for the trial. Not
Me
because
too.
not only because of the information, etc., but because I do not condone extrajudicial violence. We don't. If he had committed some crime that he carried the life sentence or death penalty, so be it. But I don't think that an inmate can be the hand of the law. You know, another inmate kills him. That's not justice. That's just another crime, in my opinion. So remember how before he was forced to resign, Secretary Acosta said he was reportedly told Epstein belonged to intelligence and was to be left alone. So the idea that Jeffrey Epstein is an intelligence player for some agency is not a lunacy at all. Here we have Palm Beach Post, circa 2007. Look how the rumors were. He was a CIA spook. That was the rumor that was going around in the early 2000s. And of course, we have now from Vanity Fair, we can take it with a pinch of salt. And one theory circulating among prominent Republicans is that Epstein was a Mossad agent. So it's not just you guys, you know, that are Mossad agents. Apparently he is too. The only guy who's not a Mossad agent, you know, unfortunately, is me. So, and also, now it's not a secret anymore that the real line of business that Jeffrey Epstein was involved in was blackmail. It's like this. We're getting Vanity Fair again. So how Epstein obtained his fortune is a matter of feverish speculation. In the absence of much other information, the reigning theory on Wall Street currently, and I'm talking Wall Street, those guys are well informed. Those guys are not patsies. They're not, you know, sheep. Those guys have good intelligence. And the reigning theory on Wall Street now is that Epstein's activity with women and girls were central to the building of his fortune, and his relations with some of his investors essentially amounted to blackmail. This is pretty hard. But this is open information now. That can be, and in fact, the intelligence angle and the blackmail angle, they do not exclude each other, much to the contrary, because honeypots are one of the oldest intelligence tricks in the book. And we have here one old Washington Post from the days when the Washington Post was the Washington Post, and how the CIA used love traps to lure diplomats. This is the oldest. The KGB is synonym with honeypots. So what is I ask you guys, this is a real question. What is the relationship between Epstein and Les Wexner? Why does the guy who was a billionaire suddenly started confiding in Epstein and trusting Epstein and giving Epstein power of attorney over all his assets? I ask you. Does this make any sense to you from a business point of view? It does not. That's what people on the Wall Street are saying. Do you guys know in Crazy Days and Nights there's this ant lawyer that does blind items, and he has one about Epstein and Les. Is a bit of a romanticized version. When we talk about the pedophile king, I think we all know who we are talking about. Yes. I will throw in some celebrity names to make the guessing more fun as this goes along. But I wanted you to know how this insanely rich pedophile made all his money. It probably will not shock you that he made his money illegally. Oh, God. He made it off the backs of regular, hardworking people. People who were swindled out of their money and were left with nothing. The pedophile was in the right place at the right time and took money that should have been given back to as many as those people as possible. Instead, he used almost $500 million to finance his life as a pedophile. There is one more component to his financial well-being. One of the people who was swindled was a very rich person, that's Les, who owned a massively large corporation and was one of the richest men in the country. He lost a great deal of money in the swindle, and our pedophile saw that he got every cent of his investment back. In return, the very rich man has always provided cover for the pedophile and vouched for him with other billionaires and investors, which has allowed the pedophile to accumulate even more wealth. He has helped gloss over and erase from memory anything about the swindling of Epstein, just like it never happened. Now, there's something else about that very rich man. He was the very first customer of the pedophile. He was in a horrible marriage and he wanted someone young, very young. The pedophile knew just the right person, and the life of the rich man was changed forever. He started embracing life again and has kept that woman in his life ever since as a mistress. He ended up marrying again, but the love of his life is the mistress. In return for bringing that young woman into his life, the very rich man gave our pedophile a very valuable piece of property, as well as a list of names of other very well-off men who would also enjoy the companionship of very young women. At this point, the very young women became the almost legal teens that have been discussed in several island posts. If we have any doubt who it's about, we don't anymore. A celebrity that I haven't mentioned in any of the island posts is a permanent A-list actor who called all the young teens by the name of his daughter, which is pretty sick in itself. And then he goes. So this is somehow a romanticized version that he introduces the guy to a girl and the guy owes him forever. But most of the theories go that he was being blackmailed by Epstein. This is the main theory going around. But there is this good article in the Frank Report that maybe actually Les Wexner could be in on the blackmailing racket with him, and perhaps even in a superior position than him. So let's move on. As I was saying, this thread is I was trying to put a bunch of stuff together. Everyone is very worried that James Comey's daughter, Maureen, an assistant U.S. attorney in the Southern District of New York, is involved in the prosecution. People have given me a hard time about that. Of course, she comes from a family of rabid Democrats, and she's daughter to Jim Comey. It is reasonable to distrust her. Okay, I'm not saying it's not. But would she screw her big chance at one of the most prestigious federal prosecutor's office nationwide after 4 years with the office on a steady climb? I'm not so sure. And also, she has oversight. The U.S. Attorney for the Southern District, Jeffrey Berman, was chosen by Jeff Sessions, and he was confirmed by the judges. He was not confirmed by the Senate because POTUS wouldn't even put his name on the Senate because probably they would not have approved of him because he's so good. Berman, I mean, so good, no, so close to POTUS. I mean, Berman has prosecuted a congressman for insider trading, a Republican congressman. He prosecuted dirty doctors for narcotics distribution, and he was the guy who charged Michael Avenatti with extortion. And he was the first guy who got his hands on Big Pharma, and he put drug charges against Big Pharma executives. And of course, I'm not proposing him for sainthood, but obviously this guy is going places. And also he has a certain talented bagpiper looking over his shoulder. Because when you say, oh, Maureen Comey is gonna screw it up, you're saying that the U.S. Attorney is an imbecile. And of course, Barr has no control over anyone, and I don't believe about that. I believe Barr has control over his department. Why? Another point, another important point that I would like people to focus. What Berman, what Bill Barr, and even Maureen Comey know is that those present charges against Epstein are just placeholders for additional, even more disturbing charges. Let me remind people, those charges that he's arrested, they are between 2005 and 2010. They are not contemporary charges. There are at least 20 times more charges coming. You can bet the house on that. So this whole prosecution effort is somewhat of a mission. See what Barr has to say about that. Any attorney general in this period is going to end up losing a lot of political capital. And I realized that that is one of the reasons that I was persuaded that I should take it on, because I think at my stage in life, it really doesn't make any difference. Now, how cool is that, man? It was like, I'm going for martyrdom, you know, because you're going to be attacked like hell. And this is great. The judge in the Epstein case said that some material cannot be made public now because it would impede the government's ongoing investigation of uncharged individuals, meaning not only there are additional charges, but also there are people who have not been charged yet and will be. So this is more or less what I had to show you.
Very nice. Wow.
It's a long thread, but you know, I had to make it work.
It was very well organized, man. Really good job putting it together.
And I'm glad you took the time to really just go through it, Paul. Well, very, very well done.
Unbelievable, guys.
I wish I had your guys' voices.
Kevin Rogers says Paul must own an excavator instead of just a shovel.
I think he has 2 of them.
Right? And that's from Kevin Rogers out there. I want to thank VV, which is 55 out there. It's funny. Thank you very much for your awesome donation. And I have this queued up because we wanted to play this after Paul because we have it all. And if you're not following VV, get over there now. we're on. Darn it. I'm starting it over. Here we go. Sorry, guys. This is VV55. Get over there. You got to see this. This is very relevant to what Paul just talked about. Here we go. In the Matrix at 3x's.com. So there you go. That's VV, which is 55 in Roman numerals. Get over there. We have it all. That one only has 2,211 views. We need a lot more on that. Go over there and subscribe. 374 people. That's it. But these are the kind of this, and VV55 is out here right now. So tell VV55 thank you for that video. That was amazing. And he's got like 3 others as well, and hopefully there's some more to come. Paul, you have been getting some great response here. Let me just read a couple. Paul, from one researcher to another, bravo. Meticulous research, outstanding analysis, brilliant fact arrangement and explanation.
Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you all.
And that was from CareX99. Also, you're getting this, Paul. Your voice is great. We love you. That's Paul. Thanks, Paul. Nice work. And then fantastic video to BB. Let me see. Let me get a couple others here for you, Paul, because you are amazing and you need to know that. Much love, Paul. Love Saran Thursday. That's from Donna Shelley. Thank you, Donna. Amazing vid.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you. It really means a lot to me.
Yep. Delina Young says this links up with what Paul drops up. This video, exactly. That's why I wanted to play this. It's funny. And thank you, 55, aka VV in Roman numerals. You guys are amazing, and that does it for the Matrixxx Groove Hour. We have a couple little things real quick. The mother of the El Paso shooter called the cops before the massacre. Imagine that. Who else? What other shooters did that? Almost all of them. They've been on the radar for a long time, guys. These people knew. These people are sick. This is a catastrophic failure, or was it planned? This is not the first time either that the cops were aware of a possible shooting issue. All right, get your Matrixxx Groove stuff over there at the Teespring store if you can. We do have a Patreon. Paul has a Patreon as well. We will go ahead and drop that for you, and a PayPal on his website. It's All Things Q. Mods are going to drop that for you. Look what was spotted in the Tampa area. Woo! I love me some Q. Also, look at that. Look, there's an intheMatrixx.com sticker. That needs to be a heck of a lot bigger, though. But that's awesome. So thank you guys for sending me that. Also, we got Lethal Lady Couture, women's concealed carry clothing. Get over there and check it out. Get your concealed carry yoga pants, all the stuff, bras, yoga pants. I need a concealed carry bra, Shady.
Concealed carry bikinis.
That's right.
Maybe you just do some more working out.
All right, I'm going to keep going to the gym. All right, and Epstein's brother, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the UN, UAE, Adam Schiff, and models, Epstein slaves in real estate. The Daily Caller actually did a pretty good dig, believe it or not. That was by Amazing Polly. And you, Matrixxx Grooove Hour people. Poussant reached 5,000 followers. Thank you guys very much. It's our Twitter anniversary as well. And there's the bounty hunter thread from Paul. Don't forget, new evidence unveils disturbing facts about Hillary Clinton's emails. This is why they had the shooting. Not to mention the catastrophic fails of the Democrat debates. Also, we're still at 15,000. I think I've been at 15,000 for about 8 months now on this video, but 579,000 views, but only 15,000 likes. And I have to like it all the time. So guys, check it out. Please, thank you very much, Shady. Paul Saran, Paul, why don't you give us some final words?
Well, I would like to thank you guys for bringing me here every week. It's become a real thing in my week, and I always look forward to it. I get nervous, as you know, in my own way. And I would like to thank everyone that is watching us, that is listening to us, for the wonderful response that I always get when I come here. Thank you, and keep up the great work. The most valuable anons.
And you're one of them too. You've been queued as well. The ones that they're talking about are the ones that are yelling loud and haven't been queued. So there's a lot of valuable anons out there.
The ones that are royally ignored.
That's right. That's right. They keep taking away my like Matrixxx. Yeah, mine too, Snapper J. And then Paul, so thank you very much. We want you here every Thursday. That was a brilliant thread. I know you're producing a lot more. I love the way that you went through it today. You did a great job, and don't be nervous.
Yeah, I'll try.
All right, and we got so that's much love to Paul Saran. You are getting a lot of love out there in the comments. This broadcast will also rebroadcast on 17:17 Eastern time. That's 5:17 Eastern, Paul. So you'll see this live broadcast jump on at 5:17 Eastern time, and you can retweet this whole show. Okay. Also, guys, Shady, what you got for final words?
Well, I just want to say out there, everyone, I really appreciate everyone paying attention and joining us here at the United States Department of Winning, and Paul for coming over and sharing some of his in-depth insights into what we're all seeing unfold in front of us. It is the collective. It is the universal effort. It is the worldwide awakening that you are seeing happening right in front of you, and what we are awakening to is going to be some very dark things, but it's also going to be awakening to the beautiful future that is without them, and that is the world that we're working on creating, guys. And with that, Matrixxx, I'm jumping through, and I'm going to leave it to you, and we're going to be back here tomorrow, 1300 55 Anons Patriots worldwide. Paul Saran, much love. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Shady. Thank you, Paul. And we are the United States Department of Winning. Reptiles for Q says Matrixxx is the bulldozer. Paul Saran I mean, that guy's got a huge bulldozer, you know what I'm saying? He's got a huge shovel. And big love to you too, Paul. The Great Awakening is what we're all about. You guys, we couldn't do it without you. Don't forget, in the link below, we've got our sponsor, Apex Health. Don't forget, down below, we've got the Patreon, the PayPal to finance this broadcast and what we're doing. And don't forget, we got Super Chat here as well. We love each and every one of you. You are not alone. We're here for you. We're all here for you. And we got the best mods out there. Best mods out there. We love you guys very much. Thank you, mods. And if you guys have any questions, let them know. And we're going to get out there and help you guys. You guys, tomorrow is Carly Bonet Friday. We have a little bit of fun. Hear that laugh again. I love you guys so much. Keep fighting. Q will be back. Mark my words. This show show every day, Monday through Friday, 1300 hours Eastern Time. YouTube.com/C/intheMatrixx. 3 X's. Please share it. Shady Groove with 3 O's on Twitter. intheMatrixx with 3 X's on Twitter. Paul, PAUL_SERRAN on Twitter. Carly's tomorrow. Peace.